Hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome back to Cosmic Lovers Tarot. Today's reading is for Virgo, so you could be Virgo sun, moon, or rising. And if you are, you're in good company because I am actually a Virgo moon. It is the bane of my existence sometimes. That perfectionism that kind of comes through can be very obnoxious, but all right, and the topic of the reading today is a fun one. I got this from Pinterest. It's called The Wishing Well. This spread is all about wishes. So we're going to look at a wish that you have that the universe also wants to come true. So this is not just something that, this could be something that you've been passively thinking about, but this is something that the universe is backing you 100% on. How the universe wants to fulfill your wish. What can you do to help make this wish a reality? And then how will you know when your wish comes true? And then also how you can help someone else's wish come true. So it's kind of like a little cyclical thing or a circular thing, right? Like once my wish is fulfilled, how can I then move towards like helping someone else? So seems like a fun spread. We're just going to go ahead and get into it. I'm using some fun decks today. Specifically the tarot deck that I'm using today is one that I have never done a reading with before, so I'm very excited to get into that and see what happens. All right, I don't remember if I said this already, but I hope you guys are having a really good day. Okay, I'm going to bring my camera down a little bit so I can see what I am looking at. Move this in the frame. There we go. All right, cool. Let's get into it. First things first, I'm going to pull a Soulflower Plant Spirit Oracle for you. I love this deck. I'm actually going to be doing a flip through of this deck later on today, so look for that on my channel if you enjoy this deck. I'm going to do a whole flip through where you can see every card in it. All right, so I'm going to give this a quick shuffle. Okay, so wishes for Virgo. What can you tell me? What do we know about Virgo's wishes? Okay. Ooh, all right, I'll take it. Okay, chamomile, stability. Even on a cloudy day, the sun is shining. It is just obscured. Chamomile reminds you that even when faced with challenges and difficulties, your soul's warmth, serenity, and equanimity is always present within, soothing and calming, helping you to weather any storm in a relaxed, harmonious state. I think this is kind of less about your wish and more about your current emotional state. I think some of you have been kind of experiencing waves of anxiety lately or turbulent emotions that are kind of difficult to process or difficult to understand really why they're happening. Might be some stuff kind of going on under the surface. So yeah, we will get into that a little bit later. All right, we're going to start with the Rider-Waite. What is Virgo's wish? Virgo's wish. Okay, one more. Hermit in reverse. So I think this is about wishing for someone to share the intimate details of your life with. I think you guys are wishing for a life partner, for someone to be able to, it's like I'm reminded of that thing about, like, I want a partner that I can be with whom I feel as comfortable as I do when I'm alone. So some of you have different aspects of yourself, or hobbies that you're interested in, or just facets of your personality that don't really get shown to most people. Some of you may be like very like poised and put together, and like calm and focused, and even like a little bit reserved in public, but then like in like behind the scenes, or like behind closed doors, you're actually really silly, and like you like to kind of like cut up, or act like very ridiculous. For some of you, this is like a sexual thing. Like sexually, you're very different than, or you may be into things, into like, you might have like sexual desires that aren't really compatible with the way that you present yourself in real life. Like I'm thinking of, like the corporate CEO that secretly likes to be dominated, even though during the day he's always telling people what to do. So there's a little bit of this sense of like wanting to share these intimate parts of yourself. Now with the hermit, you may have, like, I don't see this as a true hermit phase, but when we talk about the hermit card, we can look at a couple of different things going on with the hermit. One thing in the hermit is being physically withdrawn, like literally staying inside the house, not really going out. Guess what we all did during the pandemic? We all went into hermit mode. But yes, that is true, but that's kind of like a superficial layer of hermit. The real true spirit of the hermit card is an inward period of retreating and isolating into yourself, so that you can better understand who you are. But what's interesting a lot of times about the hermit is that journey is not portrayed as simply as that. You may just slowly find yourself becoming more and more withdrawn. And again, I don't mean this. You could be in a hermit stage, and you could be at the bar every other night. It's really about how you feel inside. Are you connecting with people? Are you sharing yourself? Now, given that this is in reverse, again, this is you wanting to share these aspects of yourself and aspects of your life with someone else. Okay, so now I'm going to look at... Okay, so your wish then, just to recap, your wish would be to have someone, a partner with whom you can share even the parts of yourself that you keep very closely hidden. All right, now how does the universe want to fulfill this wish? So the good news is the universe wants you to have someone also, someone who is 100% accepting of every aspect of yourself, even the parts that, and I don't feel any shame in this. I want to point out this feeling that you have of keeping these things close to yourself. It's not out of shame. It's just that you haven't really found anyone that you've allowed to explore these things with, and just because you haven't really felt like it, but you're starting to, it's almost like you didn't know that these parts of yourself existed, and then as you explored your inner world and you got to know yourself a little bit better, as we all do, you have started to uncover these aspects of yourself, and you didn't know that they were there before. And so you spent some time on your own getting to know them, which is perfectly reasonable, and now you're at the stage where you kind of would like to share them with somebody else. I think that's really beautiful. So we are going to now look at, how does the universe want to fulfill Virgo's wish? Whoa. Oh, I should have said, by the way, I didn't. I'm using the Neon Tarot now. This is a really, really dynamic deck. You will see in just a moment. Okay, all right. So we have 7 of Swords, but it's in reverse. Now, I'm actually getting this as a little bit more straightforward than usual. How the universe wants to fulfill your wish is coming through as talking to people in manners and ways that you normally wouldn't. There is a little bit of an element of distrust here, or feeling like uncomfortable, but it's almost like you're being asked to set aside your reservations about certain types of people. So, for instance, okay, for some reason, this is like a little bit specific and kind of hard to convey, but so for some of you, it's like, and it's not shame attached to this, these like secrety parts of yourself. It's almost like the things that you're into and the things that you enjoy, you don't necessarily like the people that enjoy those things. So it's almost like, okay, I'm super into anime, but anime fans drive me crazy. Or I'm a huge Tool fan, but I can't stand Tool fans, you know? It's like that. And so you're being asked to, like, part of what the universe wants to do as they reveal this person to you, as they reveal this connection to you, is kind of get rid of some of your presuppositions about the type of people that are into this thing. I love running, but people who run drive me crazy. It's something like that. And what you're being asked to assess here is sometimes when, and this sucks, I hate this message, but it is true. When you have an automatic dislike of someone or something, oftentimes it is because there's something within you that you don't like about that person. You're being asked to challenge your thoughts, and the universe wants to help you do that. So for the next little bit of time, this is like a very precise kind of actionable step, but for the next little bit of time, I'm hearing like opposites attract, and I'm seeing kind of those images from the classic rom-com where it's like the guy and the girl get together, but in the beginning they hate each other, you know, like You've Got Mail, I think, is like an example of that, where it's like Tom Hanks is the bookstore owner, and Meg Ryan is the bookstore owner, and then Tom Hanks is like the owner of this like big, huge chain. And so they're like at odds with each other, but they're secretly carrying out this pen pal kind of romance thing. So a couple different things here. One is, yes, challenging your feelings, your initial feelings about someone or people in your life. So you're at the bar. You see a person across the way kind of flirting with you, giving you flirty eyes. You're at a convention for the thing that you really like, okay? Because you guys, I think, are going to link over something that you share a common interest in. That's kind of niche or like a little weird. If it's sexual, it could be like a FetLife or like a, what do they call those things? Oh my God, I'm going to get this so wrong. It's called like a munch or something like that. I'm sorry, something like that. It's like it's a meetup for people that are in like the BDSM community, I think. But anyways, so if it's something like that, then you're going to meet at this convention, or you're going to meet, or alternatively, it might be like you meet somebody and then you kind of find out that they are into the thing that you're into, and you're like, whoa, okay. That's how you'll know, by the way. That hasn't really come into play yet, but that's how you will know the person, is when you realize that they're into the same niche thing that you are. So like, I'm into French silent films. What? I love French silent films. Okay, that's your cue. That's your cue that this is the person that you're supposed to, connect with. Well, the other thing is, okay, so first I want to address this whole idea of challenging how you feel about someone right out the gate. If you meet someone and you automatically clash with them, or so if you meet somebody and you haven't even gotten a chance to get to know them, but there's something about their personality. Now, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here because I don't want to discount intuition. There is a difference, and that is kind of what the universe wants you to explore. Now, this is tricky, okay? So I'm right there with you in terms of I'm still learning this myself. I work on this all the time. So one of the things that I've heard from other tarot readers that I really love. I think I heard it from ASO Tarot. She's one of my favorite readers. If you haven't checked her out, I highly recommend it. She's amazing. But she said, like, anxiety screams and intuition whispers. So I don't want to discount that when you meet somebody, sometimes your intuition says, no, this isn't for me. However, that being said, there are certain people that when you meet them, you just automatically are like, ugh, I don't like them, or they rub me the wrong way or something. Now, this can be very, very tricky to discern because sometimes they're reflecting something back at you that you don't like about yourself. Now, that's different than the intuition going, yeah, we're not compatible. It's very, very tricky. I think that's why we've got the Seven of Swords energy here. It's not an exact science, you know, but what you're being asked to do is really just sit and kind of pause the next time that you see someone and you automatically go, I don't like them, or, why are they acting like that? Just sit for a second and wonder if there might be something that they are portraying to you. Like, for instance, I'm recalling like a person from my a former life, it feels like, but when I was living in Oregon, there was a person in my community that, like, when I first met them, when I've seen them, I'd be like, I can't stand them. And sitting with it long enough, I realized that the way that they interact with people is like super cringy for me because I'm afraid that I interact with people like that, you know? Just kind of over the top and too much. And you could tell that people were just like, I wish that they would stop talking. And I was like, God, I hope people don't think about me like that. And so, yeah. The other message here is the universe does want to shake you out of your comfort zone a little bit and like get you into a place of being able to try maybe modes of communication that you haven't tried before, you know, specifically getting onto some type of like dating site or like dating service that you haven't really explored. So like, I don't know, maybe Meet Mindful or Hinge or something like that. Although I do get the sense that for most of you, you're going to meet this person in real life, but for some of you, I see some like longer form communication, emails, something like that. There's also a message here about slowing down and like enjoying the beginning part of this relationship and really like doing something differently than you normally have. You know, your guides are saying that when you slow down in the beginning and you really get to know someone, meaning like, you know, you take your time, you write letters to each other, you write emails to each other, as opposed to just like diving right in, then a lot of that anxiety and anxiety v intuition will really start to come into play. You'll get to understand it, because this is really interesting, but there's a message here from your guides about sometimes you can have explosive chemistry with people that you immediately kind of repel. Now, again, that's different than meeting somebody like, okay, so I'm a bartender. So say some guy's coming into the bar and he's hitting on you relentlessly. He's like, oh, come over here, you know, or your ass looks great in those jeans, or, oh yeah, I know where you could put that, blah, 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 blah. Now, obviously you're going to be turned off by that. You're going to be like, shut the fuck up. You know, that's normal. I'm not saying you should lean into that, but I'm saying like, you know, you meet a person and by all accounts, they seem perfectly fine. They're into the same thing as you are. Again, that's your little hint. That's your clue from the universe and from your guides. Your guides don't want you to be confused. So coming up soon, you're going to meet somebody who has the same niche hobby as you do, or likes the same band as you, or has the same favorite movie as you, or has the same art project as you. There's going to be some like big synchronicity that's going to happen between you and this other person that's going to make you go, oh, this is the person. Then you are being encouraged to slow down, to take your time getting to know this person. And if you experience that resistance that I'm talking about, and you more than likely will, that resistance that says, I don't know if I like this person, but they're perfectly reasonable, perfectly nice. There's nothing wrong with them in terms of like, you know, they're not an asshole. They're just a normal, nice person that likes the same thing as you, but you're like weirdly repelling them. Well, you're being encouraged to really lean into that, because The universe is saying you would be surprised that sometimes, and this is new for me too, I'm learning something right here with you, that sometimes when we repel people like that from us, it's because they're reflecting something back at us that we don't want to see about ourselves. But when two people can overcome that, and I don't see this other person in your life, they're not going to have the same resistance to you. They're going to be very calm, very sweet, very kind. You're going to be the one that's going to be feeling a little bit of like, I don't like that. You're being encouraged to sit and just and talk to them and get to know them, and you'll be amazed at what that will exfoliate for you, what you'll be able to see, because you're going to have an explosive growth spurt when you allow yourself to like dive into that uncomfortable situation. And again, I feel the need to say, again, I'm not encouraging you to date someone that makes you feel icky. There's a difference between what I'm trying to explain and feeling icky. You know, and a lot of that, unfortunately, is like you figuring it out. But of course, like if, you know, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to figure out the difference, because again, it's not like you're turned off. You're intrigued by this person, but for some reason, something about them rubs you the wrong way and you can't put your finger on it. And that's going to be confusing to you. But you know, obviously stay safe. I don't know. Now I feel like I'm just getting off into a tangent, but I'm really just trying to, this is a very interesting message. So it's, you know, it's coming through. I'm kind of fascinated by it actually. So anyways, that's that. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I do these readings and I swear I'm like, okay, that made no sense. But that's because honestly, you guys, these messages come through pretty weird sometimes. It's weird. Reading tarot is like, I was trying to describe it to somebody the other day, like reading tarot is like being handed a cloud and then you're having to pull it out of your mouth and turn it into words, you know, and it's not words. Sometimes it's words when it comes to me, but it's not. A lot of times it's just this like feeling, you know, and you're like, okay, this is what that is. And it can be a little, so I hope that made sense. Yeah, just be on the lookout for somebody that has the same really niche hobby as you, and then take your time getting to know them. And if you feel bristly resistance, lean into that and question why. Why? Is there something about yourself that you're insecure about, that maybe this person is highlighting, you know? Is this person really free and like doesn't seem to care about money, and you have always been, you know, kind of nervous about finances and stuff like that? Are they really confident where you're really shy, you know? Okay, what can you do to help make this wish a reality? Knight of Cups. Yeah, so a lot of this is just putting yourself out there, you know? Oh, your guides have a really sweet message for you with this Knight of Cups. They, you know, they want you to see yourself as like this person whose love really does make the world a better place. Like your heart is like the heart of a nurturing warrior, like someone who's been through difficult experiences and come out the other side, and you have so much love to give. And they're really proud of you for staying the course and working on yourself, and like all the work that you've put into making your heart stronger and more available and more vulnerable. And now they're really just like encouraging you, put yourself out there, you know? So yeah, like take a leap. You might have to make the first move in this situation, which might be new for you. But if you find yourself intrigued by someone and, you know, and they fit the description and they are what you're looking for, yeah, you're being called to go for it, to put your heart out there, to, you know, I feel, Virgo, that you've had some difficult experiences in the past with relationships, and your guides really want you to know that is behind you. That time is gone, that like you've put in the work to you know, to move on from that, and now it's time to start a new chapter and, you know, really move forward. Also, like physically putting yourself out there, you know, going to meetups, joining groups. If you're not into online dating, join the club. I hate that shit. So maybe, you know, going to a singles night at your local pub, or just I don't know, taking a class. That would be a really good one. Taking a class, you know, something where you're with like-minded people and you can really, I don't know, just let your light shine. All right, how will we know that the wish comes true? Also, there's a lot of energy behind this for you. That's the other thing here. So they're saying a couple different things. One is that you're on a really big soul journey right now. You're learning a lot about yourself, and like you're coming out of this hermit stage with this like newfound appreciation and look at the depth of your heart and the depth of your being. And you've done a lot of inner work on coming to terms with what you really want, what you will and will not tolerate out of a relationship, and that is shown. And so now, honestly, they're just really excited to see this next stage, this next phase for you. And to see you be able to share that love with somebody else. All right, how will they know when the wish comes true? So we already talked about the niche kind of hobby that you'll share, but how will we know when this wish is coming true? How will we know when the wish is coming true? Ooh, Ace of Coins. Okay, so novelty. Okay, so this, okay, realistically, this might be a new job, but I don't think so. I think this is a new opportunity. So for some of you, you are like craftsmen or artists or small business owners or something like that. And I'm getting some really specific messages here. So this person might arrive as a student in your class, or they might be a teacher at a class that you're going to. There's something here about starting a new pursuit, starting a new hobby, or a new opportunity presenting itself to you in terms of business. So meaning, okay, wait a minute. I see what's going on here. Okay, so this person is going to offer you something. That's how you'll know. So the things that we're looking for are, one, this niche thing. So again, I see you meeting this person in a class, in a workshop, at an outing or a gathering, through mutual friends, or some type of method by which you're going to meet this person that it's going to be in person, and it's going to be like, you'll know it. You'll know it. When you meet them, you're going to think back to this reading and be like, oh my God, it's really happening. You know, like that's kind of what we've got going on here is like this, oh, okay, cool. This is them. You're going to start talking to them, and okay, so this is how it's going to go. So you're going to start talking to them. And remember, I'm doing the best I can. This isn't going to be exact. This is pretty close though. You're going to start talking to them, and you're going to realize that you're both into the same niche thing. So for instance, this is a good example of how it might go. And you're going to look for two things. One, they're into the same thing as you. And two, they present you with an opportunity. So this is how it could go. Hi, nice to meet you. Hey, nice to meet you too. So, you know, how do you know these people? Oh, or what brought you to this workshop, or blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, I just watched Pulp Fiction the other day. Oh my God, you did? Really? I love Quentin Tarantino. Oh, me too. I own all of his movies. I've seen all of his, interviews. Now that's, a lot of people love Tarantino, so that's not quite as niche. It'd be something more obscure. I love electronic music. Oh, have you heard of Amon Tobin? Yeah, I love Amon Tobin. Oh, that's weird. Nobody knows about him. Something like that. Somebody that nobody's heard of. Then they are going to say, oh, did you know that they have a Quentin Tarantino retrospective playing showcasing at the museum on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is the last weekend. Would you like to go? Or, hey, this same teacher is doing a workshop on candle making on Friday. Would you like to go? Something like that. So that's how you'll know. And I encourage you to say yes, because that is going to be, I think, the start of a really cool adventure. And then how can you help someone else's wish come true? This might be kind of a separate message here. How can you help someone else's wish come true? Two of Swords in reverse. Oh, this is really interesting. Okay, so apparently for some of you, Chariot. Okay, so for some of you, you have a person in your life who has been kind of feeling burdened by their relationship. So they've been kind of on the fence about wanting to, Two of Swords, making a decision, not wanting to make a decision. There's someone in your life that is close with you, like a friend who has been in a relationship with their partner, and they're just like, they're not being treated as well as they should. They're feeling burdened by the relationship, but they're like unwilling to actually cut the ties and like move on. The Chariot energy here, moving forward. Now, what you are going to do is you're going to offer them some advice. They're going to ask you like what you should do. And, you're going to be honest, but something about this experience that you've been through, your time in the trenches, the hermit mode here, your Knight of Cups energy, your heart is like opening, and you're going to notice that people are going to start asking you for advice on what to do about things, love particularly, and it's going to make you go, what? You want to know about love from me? Like, that's crazy, but then you'll realize that, oh, wow, I am now the friend that has like, the best perspectives on relationships. And, I get the sense that you're going to advise this person to move on, to leave. But most of all, you're going to remind this person of their self-worth. You're going to kind of bring them back into balance here, with like whatever this relationship is that they've been in, their person has not been kind to them, and has caused them to like look back on their past, and their reflections of themselves are kind of being marred. And so you are going to get an opportunity coming up soon to lend some positive support, some positive feedback to someone, help them see themselves in a more positive light, and then that is going to help them be able to make the decision that they need to make for themselves and for their, for their highest good. All right, I think that pretty much wraps everything up. I am going to do a little chamomile read for you here so we can get some final oracle messages. All right. So we already read the top page here, so let's just get into this. Chamomile has been used for centuries in teas as a calming sleep aid and to gently soothe stomach ailments. She is a great ally for children and the child within us all that feels scared, lost, and confused in our big, complicated world. The stomach, or the solar plexus chakra, is where we feel our personal power. This is our power to make sense of and participate fully in our lives, and our power to remain calm and stable in the metaphorical storms that inevitably occur in our lives. Every single one of us has our own microstorms raging within as well as around us, our own stories and dramas that impact our lives and are reflected in and contribute to the collective. It is easy to get caught up in all the irritations of daily life with all the pushing and competition surrounding us. As we naturally seek firm ground or calm within the chaos, we find ourselves labeling, categorizing, and judging everything, every experience and everyone, including ourselves, to make sense of it all and lessen the fear and anxiety, the pain we feel within. See, I think that has something to do with what I said about this person kind of reflecting back at you and the irritation that you might feel towards them. It's judgment. So I want to pause for just 1 second because I want to clarify that when I said that I was having a difficult time explaining to you the difference between an intuition and an anxiety, what I really want to, this totally makes perfect sense, this right here. If you find that you are judging this person, so now, like I said, if some asshole's at the bar catcalling you or whatever, and then, judge away, because that's something worth judging someone for. They are invading your personal space. They're making you feel uncomfortable, and it's completely unprovoked and unwarranted. However, this is how you'll know this person that you're about to meet, you're going to be judging them and you have no idea why. And that's what you need to sit with and figure out. So, yay. Thank you, Oracle card. That makes perfect sense. So, and remember, again, just keep that in your back pocket. If you find yourself judging someone and you can't figure out a reason why, it is because they are reflecting something back at you that you dislike about yourself, and it warrants some deeper introspection. And that's not to call you out in any way. It's something that's really cool when you figure this out, and the chemistry between you guys is going to be off the charts once you figure it out. You also might feel a pull in your solar plexus. So your solar plexus is, it says right there at your stomach. A side note, solar plexus healing might be really powerful for you during this time. So meditating on the solar plexus, or sleeping during, falling asleep at night to solar plexus healing music may stimulate that area and give you the confidence to Knight of Cups this and lead with your heart. All right. But the winds of change are constantly whipping at our hair, the rains of despair flooding our gardens, and the frustration of earthquakes shaking us all to our cores. This is the way life gets our attention. We need it all in our faces so that we can feel it, see it, express it, and ultimately move through it. Storms give us an opportunity to shake things up, change, grow, renew, or rebuild as necessary. This is where chamomile really works her magic. She is the calm in the eye of the storm and the sun hiding behind the scary dark clouds. She reminds us that we each have our own direct access to our guiding light within, our own processes for understanding, self-acceptance, and ultimately for coming together, personally and collectively, for stabilizing. We can't control the perceived chaos and turmoil of life on our planet without destroying it, but we can remember to tap into our power within, our calm center of presence. From this stable vantage point, we can clearly see the divinity in all beings and all experiences, so that when the storm eventually subsides, we can celebrate, honor, and respect our innate strength, power, and resilience. And your journal question, if you would like to take some time to journal about this, what practices support a sense of calm for you? And your affirmation is, with every breath I inhale peace and exhale worry, this too shall pass. I do get the sense, though, guys, that you have already kind of weathered your storm, You've gone through your turbulence, and you're coming out on the other side. Like I said, with this people have this newfound sense of respect for you, Some of you may have been through a divorce. Some of you may have been through just difficult, rocky terrain with your relationship. But, you paused and you took time to reflect, and you got a really fun opportunity coming up. So, I know that you'll remember this reading when the time comes. I am so excited for you. I think this next relationship is going to be a great one for you. Like I said, the chemistry is going to be off the charts once you get past the judgmental mirroring thing. All right, that is all I have for you today, Virgo. I hope you enjoyed your reading. It was my sincere pleasure, as always, to read your cards. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to me for more content, I post zodiac videos regularly. I do twin flame videos on Saturdays, and I do deck flip throughs on Fridays. So there's always content here for you if you enjoyed it. And if you'd like to chat about anything, feel free to leave a comment down below. I love talking to y'all and having conversations down there. So that is all. Take care. Have a great night. Bye.